Fellow South Africans, peace-loving South Africans, fellow fighters and the ground forces, now is the time to take action. The streets are calling. We all have to occupy all the streets of South Africa. Wherever you are, make your voice be heard. Enough is enough.
Few weeks ago, the EFF of Julius Malema had called for the national shutdown. Guys, in order for you to call for a national shutdown, you need to have a reason. Yes, you need to have a motivation. And the question we want to debate in this video is to know what was the motivation of EFF in order for them to call for the national shutdown. Because we all get to see after they had announced for this national shutdown, which will take place tomorrow, we saw a lot of dispute among the nation. We saw people who were against it and we saw people who were in favor of it. But just to refresh your mind, here is what Julius Malema had said.
The reason for the national shutdown to demand the return of electricity and for the resignation of Sir Ramaphosa is further informed by the following reasons: rising cost of living for all South Africans, rising levels of unemployment and poverty of our people, increasing levels of crime, particularly murder and gender-based violence, his decision to close down coal power stations without consultation with the people of South Africa, rising levels of corruption, lack of service delivery, and collapsing public infrastructure, particularly hospitals and roads. Phala scandal, where a lot of criminal activities were committed. The national shutdown means that there will be no school, no university, factories, and no business will be operating on the 20th of March. All municipalities and all major cities will be shut down, and there will be no work on that day. All major roads will be barricaded, and all ports of entry, including roads that lead to the borders, will be closed. The national shutdown to demand the return of electricity and for the resignation of Sir Ramaphosa will mean that no business operation will be opened on that day, and no truck and no train will be allowed on the roads and railways, particularly the trucks transporting South Africa's minerals and coal to the outside South Africa through Richards Bay. We cannot fold our arms and do nothing when the ANC government and Cyril Ramaphosa, who is involved in a lot of criminal and questionable dealings and yet protected by law enforcement agencies. This is a shutdown. We will call for the immediate end to the load shedding, which is crippling the South African economy and returning this country to the dark age.
Now that you have managed to listen to what was the reasons that the EFF and the Julius Malema they had advanced, before we get to discuss point by point of what these reasons are, I want us to first know what is national shutdown really mean. Well guys, in a very simple words, national shutdown, it is a dead day. You know, when you are dead, you can't move, you can't cough, you can't do nothing. So national shutdown, it is a day when you get to see all the usual activities. They are not gonna exist on that day. National shutdown is compared more like to lockdown that Mr. President was announcing during the COVID-19, whereby no one is allowed even to go out. Okay, you stay home, chill home, do whatever you want to do, but home. If you go on the streets, you are in trouble. But this national shutdown, you are allowed to go on the streets, to march, to manifest how unhappy you are with whatsoever they had given as the reasons, as we're going to discuss about it in this video. So that is how you get to understand what is national shutdown mean. So, according to the EFF, this national shutdown is to call for the return of the electricity and the resignation of the President of the Republic, President Cyril Ramaphosa. We shall wait and see about it. But they have raised about 8 reasons, 8 points which we had noted down for you. And as promised that we're going to look at it point by point so that we can get to understand what if they had reason or not at the end of this video as you are watching us. They say that raising of cost of living.
Rising cost of living for all South Africans.
Well, now that you have listened to him saying that, what does that really mean? Raising of living, it is when you sleep and wake up, you find out that 2-liter cooking fish oil, it has jumped from 65 rand to almost 200 rand. A bread that you used to buy maybe for 15 rand, now you're buying it for 22 rand. 6 eggs that you used to buy maybe for 9 rand or 8 rand, if it is on special, now you're buying it for about almost 20 rand. So to make it short, it's kind of like the price of food, the price of petrol, it has increased to the point that people, they can't even afford it anymore. That's what he meant to say by that. But reason number 2 he raised, he said that raising of unemployment, the number of unemployment,
rising levels of unemployment and poverty of our people.
Exactly. Unemployment number. Apparently, according to the many analytics that has been given out there, since the COVID-19 that had really destroyed everything around, it had made things even more worse in South Africa. People have lost job and there is no job that is being created. That is another point that you should try to consider on your side and see whether it makes sense to you or not, especially if you are concerned about it.
Increasing levels of crime, particularly murder and gender-based violence.
Point number 3 says that increasing of crime and gender-based, as we all get to see that the crime now is something else. There are many people who had committed crime in the country, yet they're still running on the streets free because they have not been arrested. And recently, you guys, when you see on the parliament, Julius Malema as the president of the Republic, President Ramaphosa was busy answering to the questions in the parliament. You get to see Julius Malema asking him a question whether how confident he feel to leave someone as a Becky Taylor to be Minister of Police after all these failures that he get to fail when it comes to crime, with all this crime that keep on raising on their numbers. Why such ministers still in power? So that is another reason that they had raised, because they believe that the number of crime and gender-based violence, it had really increased even more, according to the EFF leader Julius Malema.
His decision to close down coal power stations without consultation with the people of South Africa.
He also, on number 4, accusing the president of taking the decision to close coal power station. You know, guys, that South Africa is the only country, I mean, one of the only country in Africa which produce, and not even Africa, but in the world, which produce coal. And this coal, instead of it helping South Africa to solve the problem of the electricity, instead this coal is being sold somewhere out there, because apparently Mr. President had took a decision to start selling the coal outside of the country instead of letting it to help the nation. You guys, you also saw who's this Guedemantash. He get also to comment about it, because he feel like it's about time we start using our own mineral. So that is another reasons that the EFF leader had to raise as the reasons as they are calling for this national shutdown.
Rising levels of corruption and collapsing public infrastructure, particularly hospitals and roads.
So on number 5, he talk about the rising level of corruption. Wow. I mean, that one, it's now becoming like a song. I don't think there's someone out there who's still gonna discuss or doubt about this corruption that is taking place if you're not Fikile Mbalula. it is only Fikile Mbalula, obviously, who believe that corruption is still not existing in this country. But we all know that there is a serious problem when it comes to corruption. So whether we like it or not, whether we are part of the EFF or not, or ANC or DA, whichever could be the political party, we can both agree that corruption is having a very big impact in this beautiful nation. So,
lack of service delivery.
So he also raised the point on number 6, saying that the lack of the service delivery. That's another thing that I believe most of you will agree. The service delivery. That one, even the president himself, I have watched him a couple of times. He acknowledged that the service delivery is very poor lately. It is very, very poor. You pay for water, you don't have water. You pay for the electricity, you don't have it. You pay for the roads and tax, whatsoever. There is potholes everywhere on the road. Street light is not even on, because if you don't have electricity, there is no way that you'll be able to have a street light in front of your yard. You ask any kind of service and you're not yet getting it. So that it's something very, very, very important that we should pay also attention to. So, and also the hospitals, infrastructures, roads, potholes, all those things, they're all involved in one point. And you get to see that the service delivery is that very, very, very poor.
Pala scandal, where a lot of criminal activities were committed.
He also spoke about Pala Pala. That is the song that we all know for some times now. And here in Pala Pala, I don't want even to talk much about it, because there is a lot of things, a lot of points. If I want to debate about this, there's a lot of things you get to understand why this word Pala Pala come to existence. Because there's a lot of things which is being involved. As he himself just said, that there is a lot of crime which was committed under Pala Pala saga, what. So, and on the last point, obviously, he spoke about the load shedding. The load shedding that everyone is experiencing. Now that we're having a minister of electricity, and you get to see that minister himself, though he seemed to be very excited for the job, but he did not know the challenge which was awaiting for him. And these challenges, they are putting him to the point of him saying that it will take some time in order for this load shedding to finish. So let's wait and see what will happen. But now at least you have a clear idea of what the president of EFF and EFF leadership, they are saying, or they are giving as reasons for this national shutdown. It is now more clear. You will have to make up your own mind and decide whether you'll be part of it tomorrow or not. But above all, the most important thing is that the message has passed. Everyone is aware about it. And even most of people who were against it, as time goes by, they get to see that they have no choice rather than to just be part of this national shutdown, because they get to see that there are some things which they are asking and yet they are not getting answers. And this time we're talking about the students who recently they've been protesting because of the accommodation and the registration fees. And we're talking about the public sectors who had also to strike. So you get to see that these people, they are not politicians. These people, they are not into EFF or ANC or what. These are just general workers, general students. But they were left without no choice for them to start marching on the street and protesting, because they believe that it is about time the government had to do something in order to answer to all their needs. So guys, that is it we want to discuss with you in this video. it was very important that we get to give you an idea of what could be the reasons that motivate the EFF to call for this national shutdown. We'll be here again to inform you of what will happen tomorrow, how everything, so how the whole situation will look like on this channel. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure that you subscribe to the channel right now. Most of all, don't forget to like this video, share, guys. I encourage you, share if you find anything's benefit in this video that we're talking about. Just share, you know, hit that like button. We'll really do appreciate. Also feel free to drop your comment down below. Tell us also what you think, you know, what could be also your point of view, because this is a very big family. We sit down, we get to discuss about trending matters that is happening around the world and in the country as well. So you get to give also your point of view through the comment section. We'll really do appreciate that. Well, guys, for now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.